Hello, welcome to Game Over Gerkinman. This is Gerkinman, and this is the Simpsons game. Part 3. We have 2 guests with us this week, and one of them it's their first time on this particular game, as you call them. So what, mystery guests? Who are you?
I am Adam, and I have appeared in other episodes or games or whatever you want to call them.
Quite a few at this point.
Yes, and I am a game programmer, and yep, that's who I am.
Hi, this is Carbon Water, professional Simpsons episode watcher.
Oh, that's a sweet title. So Adam, since this is excuse my burping, it's a Simpsons, it's acceptable. So this is your first time on this game, you have to answer a couple of really important questions for the people out there.
Sure.
What is your favorite Simpsons episode? And who is your favorite Simpsons character?
That's a tough question, because there's a lot of great Simpsons episodes.
There really is, isn't there?
One that I remember that I really like was an old one where they, I don't even remember it really well, but I do remember watching it, and I remember liking it. Where they move out of Springfield and Homer gets a new job somewhere.
Oh, that's the one with Scorpio.
Yes.
Lance Scorpio, yeah. That's a great episode, I forgot about that. He's a great character.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
What about character, though? Who's your favorite character?
Oh, character. I think I relate to Bart because, I don't know, I used to be a troublemaker like him when I was around his age.
I can't imagine you being a troublemaker.
Oh, you really can't, huh?
No, I thought you'd be like the quiet, shy type. Spend all his time in the library.
That's why he's so quiet and shy now, because he was so rebellious when he was younger.
He's all rebelled out.
Yeah, I got it all out of my system by now.
Oh, there you go. Did you have a slingshot? Was that like a thing?
No, I didn't have a slingshot, unfortunately.
I think I knew one kid in school that had a slingshot, but it's one of those things that...
Yeah. Apparently you had to buy them in 2 parts because they were illegal or something like that.
Yeah, that's probably how it was here. Everything's illegal here, though, because Australia's stupid.
Yeah, stupid Australia. Should just move out. Okay, I'm going, bye.
Yeah, I'm out of here, bye. Well, Adam, a better question might be, or one more relevant to this, because I know you haven't played this particular game, but there's been a lot of Simpsons games over the years. Which ones have you got your, have you had the pleasure or displeasure, as 99% of them would be, of playing over the course of the last quarter century?
The one I remember having was Bart versus the Space Aliens.
The Space Mutants, yeah.
Yeah, Space Mutants, whatever you call them.
That's come up a couple times already. Bad game.
I felt very accomplished when I finally beat the first level, because I was stuck on the first level for forever. And then the next level, instead of purple, you gotta collect hats or something. It's weird.
That's the first thing you think of when you think of The Simpsons, is collecting hats.
Yeah, I think I saw the second level of that game once and then never saw it again.
I think I got to the 3rd level once, but I never got to the 4th and 5th.
Is that the only one? Because remember you've played Krusty's Funhouse at some point as well?
Oh, yes, Krusty's Super Funhouse.
Super Funhouse, yeah.
That was my first Super Nintendo game. I got it for Christmas, got Super Nintendo, and the only game I got with it was Krusty's Super Funhouse. I don't know what my mom was thinking, but I did enjoy it.
I went back to it not that long ago and started playing the Sega Master System port, and it's not a great game, but it's still, especially compared to most licensed games of the time, it holds up pretty well.
Yeah.
Most licensed games from this period, that period, were fucking just, any of the Nickelodeon games were the worst things ever to...
Oh, absolutely.
Those Ren and Stimpy games.
Oh, God.
Even as a kid, I knew that.
Yeah. Dark times. Dark times.
Games? Well, they didn't make them, but, like, there was good Disney games.
Yeah, Disney had a pretty good run with like Aladdin, Lion King, and DuckTales. which is probably the best of all of them.
Yep.
But, we're here in a fight with Barney and Bumblebee Man and Chief Wiggum.
For some reason.
For some reason, they're fighting over food.
And what's that ability you got there where someone turns into a bowling ball?
Well, okay, Homer gets fat because he's Homer, and that's his ability.
Oh, okay.
Yep, a lot of thought went into the whole point of this is to eat as much as you can.
Ah, that's the American dream, isn't it?
Also, like they did an admirable job, I guess, trying to replicate the look of the show. You can't really see it in this video because it's too low res, but played on the TV. The game runs at like 720p, so the black lines look really, really badly aliased and really not very smooth or nice at all. It's just funny going back to this game now because at the time people were like, wow, it looks a lot like the show. And now we have South Park: The Stick of Truth coming out. And that looks just like the show, and this looks nothing like The Simpsons.
Well, I guess you have a much easier job doing the South Park than you do The Simpsons, so...
I don't know, South Park's pretty... And its simplicity. Sometimes trying to make things look really simple is more complicated than making things look really good.
And rather having the main creators like behind it every step of the way, and rather than just like, hey, make a game, do whatever, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, this was very much like, there is definitely love for The Simpsons in the game, but it's... Matt and
It's
Trey...
kind of like just the base of the surface of what you could accomplish. It's like, Homo fat jokes and references, Krusty Burger, there you go.
Or even from like a gameplay standpoint.
Did they get any of the writers to, you know, help out? Because they would know about continuity.
I don't know. There's a lot of references to past episodes in there that are quite... Some of them are really clever, other ones are just kind of like really obvious and benign sort of references.
Oh, hey, just that time where we did this out of nowhere, that kind of thing.
There's none of that sort of stuff, but like there's a level later on where you go inside a video game called Grand Theft Scratchy, and the end boss is Poochie.
Okay.
Which I thought was a nice touch, because, you know, he was only in that one episode, but they brought him back for this game as like he was trying to make a comeback sort of thing, and I thought, like, it's full of little things like that, which I really appreciated. But then, yeah, like I said, Homer's fat, so he becomes a ball. And that's harder to appreciate.
I would have given him some nuclear weapons, you know, because he works at the nuclear power plant. That's
just give
what
him
I would
a
have
gun, and everything will be fine.
I'm just surprised that they went with a platform, because, you know, the Simpsons history of games is mostly platformers and mostly not good ones. But I don't know, I guess, like, I think I was talking to Dylan about this yesterday, that if it was an adventure game, which probably would suit the Simpsons a lot more, and no one would have bought it, or at least EA would be too afraid that no one would buy it to ever try something like that.
Why make our own game where we can just copy other games? Tony Hawk's pretty popular, Grand Theft Auto is pretty popular, Crazy Taxi's not so popular, let's do it anyway, fuck it.
What was the Simpsons Tony Hawk game?
That was just like a skateboarding game where you play as all different characters. I never played it, so I have no
so
idea
there was a
how it's
Simpsons skateboarding game. I knew about Hit and Run, and I knew about Simpsons wrestling.
I was about to say that Simpsons wrestling, like, why was that a good idea?
I remember playing Simpsons wrestling, and I played as Krusty and just mashed the same button over and over, and I beat all my friends with programming.
The best wrestling games can be won with one button.
Or cornering the guy.
Yeah. Did you guys play, what was it, WCW vs NWO back in the day on the 64? That was a quality game.
I played a lot of different wrestling games, they're pretty much still the same.
It's kind of weird wrestling games, because, like, I don't watch wrestling or care about it, and no one in Australia really does. But I find wrestling games, or at least a lot of those older ones, are quite fun to play for some reason.
Yeah.
Meh.
Yeah, I used to watch wrestling a little bit, but the only reason I did is because I thought it was funny when, you know, they beat each other down, and that's it. I didn't care about, you know, the quote-unquote story or whatever.
Well, you gotta have a story, mate. Otherwise you got nothing to hope for. Look at that puzzle! Homer's fat, so he gets on the bagpipe. LOL.
Makes sense. Everything's make air come out.
Just like in real life.
Yes.
What do you think of the visuals of this game, Adam?
I think they're very close to the Simpsons style, to be honest.
Yeah, this is going to sound weird, but it actually looks better in this low quality than it does in full.
That's what I was assuming
quality.
when you're talking about how the lines were all screwed
Yeah,
up.
the aliasing's really, really bad on the black outlines. So cell shading's come a long way over the years. I wish it was still a big thing, but I mean, the only game that's really cell shaded nowadays is Borderlands, and that's like it.
Pretty much.
Oh, look at all the meatballs and spaghetti!
I hope she made lots of spaghetti.
That's a spicy meatball! Yep. Oh, I will say the camera in this game is fucking atrocious. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what caused the death of platformers, was fucking the cameras being shit in all of them.
Hard to make a good game.
Sorry. Was that Adam? You broke up.
It's hard to make a good camera. I'll give it that.
Well, I guess the secret to having a good camera in a platform is to design levels that allow for a fixed camera in parts that lends itself well to that particular part of the game. It's when the user can move it around that you end up getting shitty positions and things.
Just make a big open world and have no wall.
Yeah, just everything be completely flat. There's no high or low ground. You've solved it, Dylan. You've solved the platforming problem.
I did it.
That's genius. Or you could just make all platformers shooters, so that way the camera's always over the shoulder.
Or in the eyeball.
You mean like first person?
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Like first person?
Like eyeball person.
It's the eye of the tiger. It's the thrill of the fight. There was no good Rocky games. That's sad. So much wasted potential.
I think there'd be at least one good one. I mean, even if it's just a generic boxing game or whatever.
Yeah, for some reason no one ever quite managed to do it. I don't understand why.
Oh.
They need to get
Might
those.
try again when they need to.
Like, just get the Fight Night guys onto it. Fight Night's like the one EA sports game that I actually enjoy.
No.
Speaking of
Well,
EA,
then,
since
just
this
send
game
them a
was an
letter
EA
and get it
game.
Done.
Oh, Adam, did you play the Simpsons arcade game?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Good, because you didn't mention it, and that got me worried. Because everyone knows that that's the greatest Simpsons game ever made.
Yeah, I forgot about that. But yes, I did play it.
I know it was done by Konami, but I don't know that it was by the Ninja Turtles guys. But I assume it was.
Felt like it would fit that style.
It did very much. Yeah, it felt a lot like the Turtles in Time game.
Or done by the X-Men guys.
Yeah.
When it was released on Xbox Live, it came out shortly after the X-Men release.
I never got to play X-Men Arcade. I remember the Simpsons arcade game they had at the supermarket in my hometown. And that's where I played that. Or like, I didn't even really get to play it. I might have played it once, but I used to spend a lot of time just watching the automatic playthrough over and over again.
It's like I'm almost playing the game, like right now.
I used to spend a lot more time watching video games than playing video games because I didn't really have much by the way of video games. I remember hiring Bart Simpson versus the World, and that was a horrible experience.
I heard
This is as
runs
bad
on
as
thing
it.
as Bart versus the State Students.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a thing where we compare the two and work out which one's worse out of the two of them. I mean, they're both really bad, but I don't know which one is the worst of the out of them. That's the tricky
So,
part.
why are you fighting the Statue of Liberty?
To eat burgers.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah, the gameplay itself, there's nothing about this Scream Simpsons, does it?
Isn't that like an... Oh, communism. Terrorists.
You calling the Simpsons communist terrorists?
I don't know. Well, some people would. It's like, oh no, they destroyed the Statue of Liberty. That's American. They're against America.
That's true.
Maybe against the French.
They didn't make fun of the French in this game. That was kind of funny. That was weird how he bit off his arm, and then it's just like, okay, cool. Even for the Simpsons, that's a bit of a weird joke.
Logic.
Oh, look, there's a guy. There's a little Asian man.
So Asian.
So Asian.
Get it? Because Asians eat a lot and they can't get fat. That's the joke.
Uh-huh. That's right. I do like the fact that Duffman's in there. I love me some Duffman.
Oh yeah.
That was not bad. He sounded more like the Kool-Aid guy, but I'll give it to you.
Oh yeah.
Why do the losers have to clean up? That's strange. Oh, this is Planet of the Apes reference.
Oh, make sure you do the reference, because nobody else has done it ever.
Especially not the Simpsons.
Nope.
Dr. Says, Dr. Says, but Dr. Says, Dr. Says. Alright, well, thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Adam, for joining me in this adventures into Simpsons. Join us next week, as I believe Lisa is introduced to the game, and everything gets a little bit more whiny.
Vegetables.
She whinges a lot. Yeah, vegetarians.